I absolutely love this topic because you can make anything work if you put your mind to it. Now, there's a quote from Back to the Future if you've seen it, and it's basically, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish anything. And it's very, very true. I absolutely love that quote because if you put your mind to it, you can absolutely accomplish anything. Now, when you hear people say you can make anything work, they sometimes think it means just believe harder, and that is not what they mean. It means that when you commit to a goal and you pair mindset with the right actions, you become the kind of person who figures it out, which is absolutely crazy because if you think about it, mindset plus actions equals momentum. Now, the thing is, in order to get yourself ready to, make anything work, it really means that you have to stop waiting to feel ready. Now, I know a lot of people with YouTube and stuff like that, they think there's a right time to do it, but there is not. You have to just start. You can't be in the mindset of thinking of like waiting until you feel ready, because there is no time to feel ready. You have to feel ready from the start. You have to just post. And you've got to stop treating setbacks like a stop sign. It's like, I literally have had previous YouTube channels, and I know this from experience, that when you get bad results, you don't stop, because if you stop, the channel's not going to go anywhere and you're just wasting your time. So all you have to do is, if you get setbacks, treat it as a lesson rather than a bad outcome. And the thing is, you've got to start treating problems like puzzles. Now, I'm saying that because puzzles are obviously like something that you've got to work out. And if you get a problem, you then have to work out how to fix it. That's the whole point of it being a puzzle. And I feel like that's really interesting because obviously the way that our brains work and that is very important to use our brains to try and figure out why there's a problem. And problem solving is a very, very good skill to have, and I feel like everyone should have it, because if you can fix a problem, you can actually make money from it if you think about it. So if you have a job that fixes a problem, or you have a business idea that fixes a problem, you can actually produce a passive income from just simply fixing the issue. Now, obviously, not everyone knows how to fix everything, but it's just why we have specific people for the job. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, most people wait for confidence before they decide, but confidence usually comes after you take action. Now, basically, you just have to post and then simply just keep going until you build up that confidence, because confidence doesn't come before you actually post or take action. Now, the thing is, you've got to decide if you're the right person who follows through, or you decide that you're going to stay in the game long enough for it to work. Because obviously, it's not a get quick, scheme of anything. Like, you can't get results quickly. You have to wait in the long game for results to come to you. A lot of things can come quickly, but like the thing is, a lot of things don't. It's very strange that this is, it's very kind of like luck based thing. And the thing is with YouTube as well, is it's a very long game. Unless you're like some YouTube profession where like somehow you can upload like 3 videos and it skyrockets up to 1 million views. Like, that's obviously possible, but most people can't do that. Now, an example of this is that you don't become disciplined and then you start showing up. You start showing up and discipline gets built into your identity. So discipline comes into your identity over time. It doesn't just happen from you just starting, if you get what I mean. Now, the thing is, you've got to stop aiming to be perfect. No one's perfect, and no one will ever be perfect. I mean, obviously, there is a time that if you can become perfect over time. Now, if you do this, like, just say you do YouTube for 5 years. Over that time, you may eventually get to a point where you're actually doing very well and you're actually perfect with your videos. But obviously, starting out, you're not going to be perfect. No one's going to be perfect. You just have to post and see how it does. And then basically react on the sort of things and stuff that comes, like the results and stuff that come with it. And obviously, if you're starting a business, then obviously you're not going to be perfect straight away because it's a new thing that you're doing. Now, the thing is, a lot of goals fail because people build plans they can't maintain. They go from 0 to 100, then burn out, and then they feel like they can't do it, which is absolutely true, because I have felt this in the past. I've set a goal of, making a YouTube channel work, and I put in all the heavy effort and heavy editing, and then it just basically doesn't go anywhere, and then I burn out and I basically can't continue it. Now, I feel like the thing with this channel is that I'm doing videos that aren't so heavy in editing and stuff like that, so I can actually produce them on a daily basis. Whereas before, I was doing heavy editing, trying to get people to watch as long as possible, which is really bad because obviously then you're not building a proper fan base, you're just building some kind of like attention span seekers kind of thing, because they're just watching it for the quick edits and stuff like that. Now the thing is, you've got to make a plan smaller until it's repeatable. So like for instance, you've got to set smaller goals until you can hit those goals, and then you get bigger goals as you go along. So you can't just aim for 1 million subscribers by a certain period of time, because that's definitely not going to happen. You have to aim smaller. So let's say for instance I want to hit 1k subscribers by September this year. That's more of a feasible goal than if I said I want 1 million subscribers by the end of the year, because that's literally, well, it is possible, but it's very unlikely, to be honest. Now the thing is, here's some examples. So like, if you want to work out, basically just start with 15 minutes 3 times a week. That's literally easy to do. You could literally do that, and that's only about 45 minutes in a week worth of working out. And then obviously you build that up over time. Or like if you want to start a YouTube channel, then basically start with 1 video a week, same day at the same time, and then basically work towards maybe increasing that once you feel comfortable and know what you're doing. And if you want to change in your life, start with one habit you can do even on your worst day. So for instance, if you want to, I don't know, go to sleep at the same time every day, then start by setting that habit every day. And obviously you just got to start with one habit. You don't have to have multiple at one go, because that's just going to ultimately burn you out. So basically just set one habit to break. So for instance, if you want to start a habit of going to sleep at the right time, then start with that until you get it done. And then if you want to get rid of another habit that you have, so for instance, if you're eating bad all the time, then once you fix the sleep habit, go on to that habit, and then it will be a lot better for you to break down and, you know, tackle. Now the thing is, if you're doing something new, you'll definitely hit resistance, and that's perfectly normal. Life gets busy and you get tired, and obviously you get doubts, but the mistake is thinking resistance means that it's not for you. The thing is, basically resistance is just the entry fee, if you think about it, right? So you get resistance every time you start something, and yeah, there are days that you may not feel like doing it. That's not the sign to stop. That's the sign that you're building something real. Now the thing is, when you have a goal, you got to set a clear example of what you wanted by writing it down. So obviously you want to be like very clear with it. You want to build the smallest version, so like start off small and then build up. And you want to adjust rather than quitting, because if you think about it, like if something's not working, you don't just throw the whole goal away, you change the method. And that's really important to remember, because if you quit, you're just not going to hit the goal, and you're just going to be very sad because you didn't hit the goal and you just gave up, and yeah, basically a waste of time. Now what you want to do instead is you want to adjust. So let's say for instance you're doing a YouTube video and it's not getting the views you want. Now basically you look in the stats and you think, right, is my thumbnail hitting the click-through rate? If not, then work on your thumbnails. If it's not hitting the retention that you want, work on fixing that by talking like more or adding some movement onto the screen. There's all these different things that you could adjust rather than just quitting. Now the thing is, I'm going to ask you to do something right now that could help you with having a goal. Now basically you want to do is you want to grab your notes app or a physical notebook and write down one thing you want to make work. Now this could be any goal. It could be making a YouTube video or a YouTube channel. It could be making a business, could be finding a new job. And then you want to write down the main reason you keep stopping for that. So if you've tried it before and you keep stopping, then write down the reason to why you think you're stopping for, you know, what you're aiming for. And then for the third point, you want to write down one tiny action you can do daily for the next 7 days to basically go towards that goal. So for example, if you want to post consistently, then that'll be one thing you want to make work. And then for example, the main reason you keep stopping is because you overthink and you try and make it perfect, which obviously you can't, because you can't make it perfect straight away. And then one tiny action that you think you could do daily for 7 days is to write down 5 video ideas a day and film 1 short clip. Now that's a pretty good frame to use, because like you can basically keep yourself consistently by only, you know, not making it perfect and just basically writing down and planning everything ahead. And yes, I believe mindset matters. Call it manifesting, call it intention, call it faith, whatever word you like. But the part people skip is belief is powerful, but belief without behavior is just a wish. That is a very important quote, and when you put your mind to it, you're not just imagining the outcome, you're becoming the person who can handle the outcome. Now, the thing is, belief plus behavior equals results. That's important to remember. Belief plus behavior equals results. So if you take one thing from this video, let it be this. You don't need a perfect plan, you need commitment, repetition, and adjustment. Never quit. You can make anything work if you put your mind to it, because your mind decides what you do next. So basically, if this video helped you in terms of helping your goals and stuff like that, then make sure to hit the like button and of course subscribe, and make sure to comment down below what goal you're committing for the next 7 days and I'll read them. Anyway guys, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow with another video.